Oh shit, we don't have a theme song.
Oh shit, you're right. What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Like, do we have time to buy something?
No, we just have to riff.
We're gonna just riff it.
Oh shit, it's the Nostalgic Front, a podcast from Patrick and Ream. We like movies, TV, and games, junk food, juice boxes, forgotten things.
Oh wow, that was adequate.
Yeah, that was like pretty good.
Yeah, are we just gonna use it for every episode?
I think we should. I think we have to.
Thank you for listening to the Nostalgic Front. I'm Patrick Hasty.
And I am Brandon Ream.
And for the 100th time on a guest episode, Brandon, how are you doing?
And for the 100th time, Patrick Hasty, I'm fantastic.
Fantastic, buddy. 100 guest episodes.
A C-note.
A C-note.
Uh-huh.
God damn, a century.
Yeah.
God damn it. How are you feeling now?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. I can't believe it.
Fantastic.
Did you ever think we were going to get this far?
No.
No fucking way.
No chance.
Some days I literally am like, we just started this thing.
Yeah.
I'll literally be like, well, we're scrappy, we're young, we're trying, we got a couple listeners. And then I'll be like, what the fuck? We had Charlie Virgos on 40 episodes ago? You know, it's like insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God damn.
When you look at some of those other people and it seems like you just had them on, or like it wasn't even that long ago.
Or like when you see people in conversation and you're like, oh, hey, thanks for doing the show. And they're like, what the fuck? That was a year and a half ago. You know? It's wild, you know?
Yeah. And like there's other episodes where you're like, oh man, we really hit our stride there.
Yeah.
And it was like fucking Carlos at episode 18.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're only 18 in?
Totally. There's, you know what I think about a lot too, is I think about, okay, so this is a guest episode, right?
Uh-huh.
These fucking fun size episodes, who knows what's happening in that stuff? I literally, because, you know, of course, I've been doing all the work because we're trying to get the iTunes feed all fixed and back up. So I've been going through and looking at old episodes. I swear to God, I did not know we had done a Tiny Toons fun size episode. And we did it like kind of early too.
Uh-huh.
I was blown away. I almost listened.
No, when I come up for fun size ideas.
I almost listened to it, Ream, to be like, what the fuck do I have to say about Tiny Toons, you know?
You were the drum beater on that one. You brought it into being.
So crazy, man. Yeah, it was crazy. I was surprised we did an Ernest episode before we did a Batman episode. That says a lot about us as people.
It really does.
God damn.
Know what I mean?
Know what I mean, Vern? Speaking of, I guess since it's a guest episode and since it's an episode of the show, I got to ask you, what have you been up to? Any old shit? Maybe some new shit?
Maybe some new shit.
Maybe some newish old shit?
Well, Patrick,
tell me.
I went,
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I want to build a snowman.
Yeah, okay. What happened to you, buddy? Tell me.
I went and watched I went into the theater district.
You went to the theater district.
Family was in town.
The Great White Way.
Uh-huh. I saw Frozen on Broadway.
So, tell me everything, because, okay, here's what I'll tell you before you say anything.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen the movie.
Okay.
I love the soundtrack.
Okay.
I've only listened to the soundtrack of the film. I haven't listened to the soundtrack of the musical, so I'm hoping there's a couple extra songs.
There are, from
what you hear.
Uh-huh.
From
okay.
tell.
That's your stuff out of the way?
Tell me what you had going in.
Okay.
You ever been to a Broadway show?
Never been to a Broadway show.
Had you seen Frozen?
Never been to a musical production that wasn't done by a high school or anything above.
You know what? You're not going to believe this. I Googled that day. That was a high school broad. They just brought him in and let him do it for your production.
And I'd never seen Frozen.
Never saw the film.
Which I don't know why. It just hasn't been there.
It's not been available.
Yeah.
It's hard to find right now. Yeah. Because I
got nothing against.
That's why I felt with Moana.
Yeah.
Moana took me a while and then they put it on
Frozen
Netflix.
hasn't been on Netflix.
Exactly. They put
assholes.
Moana on Netflix for me.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You know?
But so tell me about the theater experience. Tell me how you felt.
It was amazing.
Yeah?
It was.
You texted me that you could not wait to talk about it.
It was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, for starters, I got to watch it, and every third person in the theater was like a 4 to 5 year old girl
child
wearing a Elsa dress.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, of course, Let It Go tore it down, but like the production, oh my god!
Well, because when I saw Aladdin, that's 10 years old.
Yeah.
So the shit they're doing now has got to be amazing.
The lighting, the special effects, and like how quickly they changed everything, and just like it was amazing.
As an electrician,
You getting
are you like looking at it through that eye at all, where you're just kind of like, how the
as
fuck
like
is
a
all this
craft-
happening?
Well, the how,
Yeah.
too, especially since like it's returning the magic that I get from watching older movies, special effects.
Yes.
You know,
when you're
where-
like, well, it wasn't computer.
Where it's not a computer, so that makes me think even more like how they do it and just how they're able to like get all these different beautiful set pieces put together and like it was good. It was great.
And you loved it. I loved it.
yeah.
It was so good.
I never thought I'd get into musicals.
Buddy, this is it. I love the idea of you getting into musicals.
Yeah,
we
but,
can do let's do another podcast, a Patreon only podcast where we just talk about musicals. I would love that.
Can you help me get my Manowar musical off the ground?
I've been writing a musical for 2 years with our friend Luke Rader.
Yeah.
Now that fucker doesn't always answer texts, so I don't know where we're at with it right now, but yeah.
But no, it was great. My niece was there,
Yeah?
3 years old, and
Now-
from Iowa.
Did you see I sent you a screenshot that friend of the show, fan of the show, Real and NFer, she's been on the show. Maria Wojciechowski was also at the same production.
Yeah, I chatted it up with
Did you
her
see
because
her?
I was so excited
Oh,
about.
sick.
No, she
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
She went a different night. I went to Saturday matinee.
Okay, I saw the photo, so I was hoping you guys were in the same room.
And it's funny.
Every time it gets quiet, you're just like, Real Wojo!
It's funny. She was talking about how one of the hottest cast members played Sven, the reindeer.
Yeah, that's fun.
So he's in a mask the entire time.
Yeah, that sucks.
I also think it's kind of funny how these Broadway shows do blind casting.
Yeah.
You know?
It doesn't matter.
So if like any of these dorks on the internet ever wound up at a Broadway show, they'd be so mad
Totally, yeah.
about. But man, it was amazing.
I'm stoked.
I'd love to go to more, even though I think the Frozen bar is pretty high.
Yeah.
Especially as far as the special effects and just like the production side of it all goes. But it really makes me wonder how they did it in the more classical setting as far as being able to be heard, because everybody's mic'd up.
Yeah, now,
At ours. And
back in the day when they used to just have to project and shit.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of the acoustics, how those places are built, you know?
totally cathartic too, man. A lot of teary moments.
Yeah.
Just from the awe and spectacle of it all. It was
And
great. And like little moments like the fact, they have little girls playing young Elsa and Anna. And so and then when I started thinking about all the stuff with the fact that these little girls fucking grew up with Frozen too, and then now they're in
it, getting to
the
be Frozen.
Broadway production of Frozen, and not only
it's
that,
like when we get our
but-
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers off the ground.
But on top of that, you have an audience of little girls
watching them.
Yeah.
God, it's just a snake eating its tail of like feminism, empowerment, and respect.
Yeah, it's really cool,
I
man.
love it.
I fucking loved it.
Ah, that's great. I love it. I'm so excited. I would love to help you get into more musicals and stuff like that.
Well, you
Except
can
for
teach me to sing. I'll get into
let's
more.
Let's do it. Yeah, right? Start auditioning. Goddamn. Well, I'll tell you. By the way, to our guest today, we're going to go a little long, so fucking just sit there. I'll tell you what I did. Same kind of thing. New old shit. I watched a little film called Shazam.
Patrick.
Oh no!
What happened to you?
I'm chucked now. No, I'm fine. I watched Shazam. You saw it too,
Yeah, man.
buddy.
Went last night.
I will tell you, kind of like we did with Frozen. I went in, didn't know shit about Shazam. I knew a little bit about Shazam and the history and stuff.
Yeah.
I do not like Warner Brothers movies. Or their DC movies. You know. I like Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman's good. I was okay with Aquaman, but I didn't give a fuck. I fucking loved Shazam.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think I've ever had that experience where I'm like, I went from being like, this movie will probably be okay. I've heard it's getting good reviews. I'll go see it. To then loving it.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Yeah. Big fan. It
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah. There's a thing. It's great. It does a thing that I really like, and I feel like because I also loved Captain Marvel that came out earlier this year, and I think they both did a lot of the
Wait,
same.
I'm so confused now.
I know, right? That's what every fucking YouTube video is like. There's 2 Captain Marvels, and it's like, settle down, Looper.com. We'll be all right. But like, what I like about both of them is they were both standalone. Like, I feel like Captain Marvel a little less, but like you could watch Captain Marvel and that's the only Marvel movie you ever watch and be like, oh, that's cool. I enjoyed a really great movie. I feel like you could do that with this. You could watch this movie and you never even have to acknowledge all the other bullshit Justice League, Batman versus Superman movies that I don't like, and I love that about it.
Yeah, and it's also great that they loosely reference it.
Yeah. The way
all the different stuff.
The way it's played, they did a thing, and I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything. And if you know the universe, and I'm guessing our fans that are gonna listen to it or watch it probably already have. But so the kid that played what's his name, his friend with the crutch, that kid, I can't think of the character's name.
Yeah,
I loved him. I loved the way he acted. I loved the way he portrayed that character. I believed that character. And a thing happened in that movie that I have never experienced in a film before, where I felt like the filmmakers literally pulled a thing out of my brain and heart and put it on the screen, involving that kid. And I don't want to say any more because I don't want to spoil anything like that. But that I've never had that experience in a movie where you're watching a movie and you're like, oh, cool, I like this. Oh, I like that guy. It's like this. Yeah, that's cool. I like where this character's going and stuff. And then 50 minutes later, everything that my brain is pretending is like inferring and thinking shows up on the screen, and you're like, I was blown away. Yeah. I was absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
I never thought I would enjoy a fucking DC, this current stretch of movies this way, and it makes me I just want to see the next two.
Well, the last two give you all the hope.
Yeah, but it's
you can say what you want about Aquaman.
Yeah,
but God, you got to love the creativity that went into Aquaman.
I think it's just
just all of the like, we're just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Throw this stuff against the wall.
Honestly, I'll rewatch Aquaman now. With a little more positivity on these films.
Aquaman needs some... Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because Wonder Woman had me riding high.
Yeah.
But then Justice League came out after Wonder Woman, and I was just fucking back in the mud again.
Aquaman could be a half hour shorter, but everybody's half hour would be different of what they would cut. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
totally.
There's a lot of cool stuff in Aquaman.
But goddamn, Shazam is great, top to bottom.
Ruled? Yeah.
I can't wait for the sequel. And they're supposed to make 3 of these.
Yeah, they got The Rock standalone.
The Rock's gonna be, and he's gonna be Black Adam, and then the third one is supposed to be Shazam versus Black Adam, or Shazam meets Black Adam, however it works. But it totally got me in. Did not see it happening. What a ride! It's one of those things that I bet if we didn't do this podcast, I probably wouldn't have gone and seen that movie in the theater.
Yeah.
I literally left after last week's guest episode. The episode with, who was our guest last week?
David.
After David, I walked out, went to go to this theater, watched it, enjoyed it. I don't think that would have happened if it wasn't for this podcast. So goddamn.
Good.
I got to see a fun movie that really I loved.
Hell yeah.
Goddamn. Speaking of things we love, do you want to go ahead and do our 100th episode with our fantastic guest?
I'd love to.
All right.
Nerds! Life can be stressful when you dress like a nerd. Lucky for you, there's Daydreams. Daydreams just got in a huge shipment of brand new rock tees, hoodies, bajas, dresses, blouses, and more. So you can leave the nerd herd behind and transform your look from geek to that shirt is the chic. And because Daydreams stocks free trade clothes and goods, you'll feel good when you shop at Daydreams, where every day is a good day. At 23rd and University near Drake.
And we're back. Ooh. What a nice commercial.
It was a great commercial.
It was fantastic.
One of the best.
One of the best. Speaking of one of the best.
Huh.
I mean, 100th episode, we got a great guest for you today.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys already see it on your feed right there. You also have seen her. She writes for Bitch Media and produces for them. Runs a fantastic stand-up comedy and a variety show called Madams of the Universe at QED. And you can hear her on the wonderful podcast, which, listeners, you guys know the drill. If you're listening to this podcast, take a pause. Go subscribe to the Bad Romance podcast. Her and Bronwyn Isaac. It's so good. And then come back, of course, and listen to the rest of this one because you guys don't want to miss Jourdain Searles. Hey. Did I hit it right? Searles?
You got it.
God damn, I'm so scared. Hop up right up on that mic just a little bit more.
Okay.
There you go. Oh,
right
yeah,
here.
there it is. Yeah, right in there. You got to get right in the craw of these fuckers. How are you?
I'm good. I went to a spa earlier today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You look relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like getting into that couch. I like it.
And then you got to the stewed a little early. So if I'm right, you had a little bit of a mimosa?
Yes, I had a pint of mimosa. I've never had that much mimosa in one sitting.
I think you
I'm
might
doing fantastic.
You might be the most relaxed guest we've ever had. Like, what do you do? I had a wonderful spa day and then a nice champagne orange juice
I had
drink.
to go pick up my new glasses, so that was a little anxiety. But then I went, and the glasses were perfect, and it was fine. So it was all good.
Where do you get glasses?
Like it was just like a place near my home, and they were in a ridiculous amount of money, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be upset about it.
Do you got good peepers?
Yeah.
I got glasses a couple years ago, and those fuckers I lost them immediately, and I just never went back because my eyesight's just okay enough that I'm fine. But also, like, once I put them on, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what it's supposed to be.
I have been wearing glasses since I was 4 years old. If you look on my Twitter, there's a my Twitter avatar is a photograph of me at 4 years old in my first pair of glasses. Yes.
I'm like seriously getting there.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have to take pictures of stuff on my phone.
What do you mean?
And then blow it up.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah, like I had to
I do
read some
that all the time.
instructions
Yeah.
today to put in a toilet handle.
Get yourself some progressive lenses. I hear that those are good.
Oh, what does that mean? Does that mean they get better as you go?
No,
it
they
means
got
that
car
like
insurance.
you can see near, you can see far, and you can see like in the middle distance.
Oh,
yeah.
this is back when I don't know if I ever told this story on the podcast. We started in Iowa, doing comedy there once. And one time I had to go do a show in Lincoln, Nebraska. Now I'm not bragging, but I drove there and I had gotten pink eye that day, and I was so embarrassed about it because it was like a paid show, so I had to do it. So I went to like a Walmart or whatever, and I bought just those generic glasses you can buy in the racks, just because I needed something to like block my pink eye from the audience.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most fun shows I've ever had, but it was just a blur the whole time because it was the raw, not at all what I needed. And then a buddy of mine came and he's like, "Hey man, you look great with those glasses." And I was like, these are just a prop tonight, but I don't know.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about getting pink eye again.
You sound very Midwestern.
Thank you so much.
It just came out so much there.
Where are you from?
I am from Georgia.
Georgia.
Yes, I don't have a Southern accent because I was raised by Jamaicans, and I don't have a Jamaican accent because I grew up in Georgia. So it's just like it's a mess.
That's how they do it. What part of Georgia?
I'm from Augusta, Georgia. That's where the Masters golf tournament is
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Lady Antebellum was from there. They went to my high school.
The band?
Yes.
Weird.
They went to my high school. James Brown was born there. We have a statue of him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only important things about that town.
We had
What's his pose on the statue? Is he
He's just
standing
like
or on
very.
his
It's
knees?
a very like It's a very majestic pose, but it's also a very small statue because I feel like we didn't have the budget for the size that they really
It
needed.
also doesn't look all that much like him.
Oh no, it's like it's made of bronze.
Well, the bank didn't finance it that much because they
Why is
were they were worried about the payback.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I heard that he was going to be in a hot tub in it, but they kept running the water. It was going to be a fountain and everything. Where's Augusta at? What part of the state?
It's like
Or like how far from Atlanta?
It's
I guess?
right on the. It's 2.5 hours from Atlanta. It's right on the border of South Carolina. There are cities in South Carolina that are closer to where I grew up than Atlanta. So I claim South Carolina more than I claim Atlanta.
That's kind of how I grew up, right on the border of Nebraska. So like I grew up with all Omaha stuff. So like I knew way more on Omaha stuff, Nebraska stuff than I did Iowa stuff. That golf course, Augusta or whatever, right? When we moved into an apartment in college, there was the people that move out and they're supposed to get rid of all their shit. These guys left one thing. They left a beautiful painting of like the 8th hole at Augusta or something.
Oh my god!
And it,
the Augusta National.
Sure, yeah. But it was like, this was like real art. And we were like, what the fuck? And so we just hung it up the whole time we lived there. And then when we left, my buddy Shank sold it on eBay for like $70 or something. I was like, this is amazing.
Wow.
So of course I recognize that it's a beautiful country out there. I looked at it every morning.
Club.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty. It's a terrible place to grow up. It's very pretty. I mean, the food's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the if I'm going to go to Augusta, what am I going to get? Or what would, if you go home, what's the first thing you get?
I mean, I don't have like a big restaurant to name. Like, I go to this place run by these like very weird like bro dudes it's called Knuckle Sandwiches.
Whoa.
It's like
that sounds great.
And the hours are like crazy. Like they're open like from like I don't know like 6 to 4 a.m. or something. So like if you're drunk, it's the place that I'd always go when I was drunk. And they have this sandwich called the PB barbecue.
Whoa!
So it's like a barbecue sandwich. It's like
great branding too.
Braised in PBR, and it's my go-to when I'm drunk. It's like if I go to Augusta, I have to get a PB barbecue. Or I didn't actually go.
That sounds like
you guys get all that vinegary sauce too, right? For the barbecue then?
Yeah,
the Carolina style.
There's some good I mean like our food like is fantastic. Like that's where you want to get your southern food. Like I've been to Savannah and I've seen like I don't know, like I've gone to the Paul Dean restaurant. It's just like a sad imitation of like actual southern food.
The only like southern experience I had is I went to Memphis about a year ago.
Oh yeah, baby.
And you just get gravy with everything. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great. Every meal had gravy.
Yeah.
I got Fruit Loops once.
What?
Gravy.
You got Fruit Loops and they give you gravy? You're like, I'll take milk. Yeah. That's great. I almost so if you're close to South Carolina, when I went to college, I almost went to University of South Carolina Sumter, which is just this weird. It's on the coast, so it's a little further, but simply because I met like a girl, and my band had gone on tour. We were in South Carolina. I met a girl. And I was like, I want to go there. And then Iowa State took me like the day before. So I was like, all right, I'll stay in. You know?
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina is really interesting. I mean, if you had gone to like USC and Columbia, I'd be like, that'd be good because they have like a little film culture there. They got things going on there. There's so many like Augusta has like some film culture. Athens has the best film culture.
And that's like where REM is from and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Did they go to your high school? REM?
No, they did not.
Lady Antebellum and REM, playing on the field hockey team?
No, we just have Lady Antebellum and like Josh Kelly.
Whoa, wait, Josh Kelly, is he the guy that's married to
Katherine Heigl?
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot about that guy.
Went to my high school.
What did he do?
He was a singer.
Yeah.
He had a hit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's on the Garden State soundtrack or something, or he's in that era, Wow. You got brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have a brother and 3 sisters, and they're all younger than me.
They're all younger than you. Wait, so you're
torch.
the oldest?
Yes, I'm the oldest of 5 kids.
Yeah, letting it go. I love it. Yeah. Did you run the house?
No, no one cares what I think. Like, they like me more now that I don't live in Georgia anymore.
Yeah.
That always helps.
They appreciate me more. But nobody cared about me. I was just like a dweeb.
Yeah. That's funny, yeah. Like, I guess I never thought of that. Like, my brother was nerdy, but, like, he was mean enough. But I was like, if I would have thought about it, I'd be like, hey, fuck you, man. I play football. I'll beat your ass,
My brother was way cooler than me. And actually, everything that I did, like, even though he's 2 years younger than me, everything that I did, it was like copying him. When I got piercings, I was copying him.
Oh, wow.
When I came out as bisexual, I was copying him. Like, everything. Like, when I got into rock music, I was copying him.
I like the idea of you coming out to copy, but you're actually like, I'm actually asexual. I don't want none of this. I just got to keep up, with what's happening around the house. Goddamn. Okay, so when you're growing up, what was your shit when you were a kid? You're very, I know, the little things I know about you, you're very pop culture-y. And that's what I like. Like, you're great on Twitter. What's your Twitter?
It's like a weird spelling of my name. It's like Jourdayen.
Yeah.
Which is like a way to like convince people to pronounce my name correctly.
Sure. Hey, taught me a lesson.
But yeah, pop culture. I was a film nerd. I used to, like, when we had a family computer, I would get a notebook and I would, like, if I had a question about film, I'd write them all down, and then I would get on the computer and spend like hours on IMDb just like looking up directors and
that's cool.
writers and shit. Yeah,
like independent study. I love that.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Who were some of your favorite directors growing up?
My favorite directors growing up, I was really into David Lynch, Greg Araki, which is like a new queer cinema director. I was obsessed with him. I really liked I really liked Wes Anderson.
Oh yeah, don't laugh. I still do. The world hates him.
Really?
Everybody's coming at me. It's just like how I like Kurt Vonnegut. Everybody's mad at me for it.
I used to be more into Tarantino than I currently am, but I was really into Tarantino. I was also always really into Terrence Malick, which I feel like it's like someone that you like get into when you're older, but I always like since I was a kid fucking loved Terrence.
You got those glasses on it and you're 4 and you're like, Tree of Life, please. Isn't that his movie?
I've been thinking this about Tarantino recently. Is I can't think of too many directors before him. Like one thing he's definitely changed in film is just how soundtracks are used.
Yeah.
Like if you just look at like From Go at Reservoir Dogs, I mean there's always been sound
music, yeah.
And like, but the way that anybody's been able to incorporate like popular music into almost, because nowadays it happens all the time. Like if you look at like Baby Driver, Guardians of the Galaxy, like they all do that.
He's one of those guys. I mean, like of course there's a couple of his movies that were important to me when I was like growing up, but like there's certain I'm not gonna revisit anything. Like I like the little relationships I have with like a Pulp Fiction or something, but I have no interest to go see new movies from him. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because like it's just become that's like. Once there's like a lot of air around somebody, I'm like, I don't care. Maybe it's just like indie cred or something. But I just like I saw the trailer for this new thing, and I was just like, I don't fucking care about his take on it.
I would say his best movie is Jackie Brown, which is which is like the famous contrarian thing to say, but I mean it. I was also super into Jane Campion. The Piano was like the first erotic movie that I ever watched. Yeah, I was really into Jane Campion.
That's the one with Harvey Keitel's dick, right?
Yeah, right?
Yes. I felt that I grew up thinking that Harvey Keitel was hot. Like I did, because I just, the way that he was framed in that movie.
Totally.
And also, my most embarrassing, but like also, I'll still claim it. Like if I go, cause I know a lot of like really like important film critics now. And it's always weird when I'm just like, I grew up loving Kevin Smith. I owned every single Kevin Smith
That's
DVD.
Fine, because like he was, the indie kid,
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do anything with it, but like.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's weird to be like, I used to be so into Limp Bizkit. And it's like, yeah, but me being into Limp Bizkit got me into other things that is better and good, So it's like.
I've been saying people want to talk. New metal killed genres. So
right?
Everybody's eclectic now.
Yeah, everybody stopped sounding like Pearl Jam because Fred Durst wanted to be an idiot for a couple years, and let's let it happen.
Now everybody does everything. All the musics are together.
Yeah.
You can thank white dudes with dreadlocks and Adidas pants.
Yeah. So wait, in your house, was it just like were you just like having all these movies given to you? Like there was no Disney?
Yeah, no kidding.
Nobody was passing Pocahontas over or anything?
My brother and I would kind of just like watch whatever, but we always wanted to watch like the weird shit. Like there was Pocahontas and like Cinderella and all this, but my brother and I would like stay up late at night and we'd be like, we're going to watch My Own Private Idaho. We'd get like really excited about it,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's such an experience. So like, cause like I would do that, but my brother and sister were so much older. So that is sort of what my middle school was. Cause living out in the middle of nowhere, when like before I had a car, it was a lot of like when IFC first came out and watching a lot of movies like that. Like, My Own Private Idaho was one of those. And then, what's the one? It's, Johnny Depp.
What's
Indian
Gilbert
Summer?
Grape?
No, Indian Summer, I think it's called. No, not Indian Summer, something like that.
Benny and June?
No, it's old. It's like from like 80, but it's like, I can't think what it's called.
Street?
But it's good. It's like when he's a kid.
When he was young?
Yeah. Maybe it's Sean Penn. I'm mixing up two movies.
Maybe it is Sean Penn. I think it might be. But yeah, I was.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I watched it. I watched it one day, and it was just like, I didn't know movies were like this.
Now, do you take advantage of a lot of the theaters here in New York?
Yeah. I mean, like I moved here for grad school. So like for dramatic writing. So I did that at NYU.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the stuff that I had to do when I was in school was go to see a lot of plays, go to see a lot of films. So yeah, all of the theaters here, I've been to a lot of the indie theaters. I love them. Like I rank them.
What's your top 3 then?
Yeah.
My top 3. Wow.
Or, just 3 that you'll love.
Yeah.
I love the Nighthawk in Williamsburg. I'm not sure how I feel about the new Nighthawk. It's definitely it's good.
Where's the new Nighthawk?
It's in Prospect Park.
Yes, yeah, that's the one. That's the new theater near us that I haven't been to yet.
I was just down there to see Pet Sematary, which I did not like. I love the IFC Center.
Yeah.
IFC Center is just fun.
I can't believe they rebooted Pet Cemetery, you know?
Why?
Oh, and I
sometimes dead is better.
Oh yeah, 100% dead is better. And I love Quad Cinema, which they just recently reopened.
Where's that?
It's close to like Union Square, but like a little bit.
Okay.
Quad Cinema is good. You should.
I'm a big fan of catching all the re-releases that like come around. I've gone to IFC a couple times.
Yeah, we saw Gremlins 2 there.
Yeah,
in that little theater that has like 30 seats or whatever. That was mind-blowing.
I saw Die Hard for the first time at the IFC.
That's the way to do it, especially since there's a lot of fans there and stuff.
I also saw Face Off for the first time at the IFC.
Did you like these movies?
Yes. Man, I fucking love Die Hard.
Die Hard's great.
Face Off. I can't believe that I'd lived my entire life without seeing Face Off.
Yeah, right? Face Off
that's great though, is having those movies that are out there and around the corner where like you should have seen it like 20 times already.
Face Off is one of those movies that like the backdrop of whatever that year was, 8th grade or something, that was on every single time I was hanging out with my friends. That was on the TV playing, you know?
Also,
and then like the next year was
title.
Clueless. Oh yeah, for sure. But it was like all these movies that like constantly we would just rewatch.
Oh yeah, I rewatched so many films.
This just happened while we were recording. Sam Castle just passed away, the actor. And he was like big in the Cassavetes movies, but he's in Rushmore. He plays his dad.
Oh yeah.
And I went to just kind of like seeing a redone. Like 10 years ago, I went to a showing of Rushmore at a theater in Omaha, and Sam Castle was there and gave like a little like, you know, like, oh, hey, I'm in town and this movie's playing.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was really cool. And he had such a small role in it, but he had such an interesting take on it. And that was, you know, a bummer because when you're like, oh, I think I know who that guy is. And then all of a sudden you see him and I'm like, oh, fuck, I not only know him, I have a fun I had a connection with him, you know? So
I love when you get to see like old movies in like small towns and the director's stuff come. When I was visiting Augusta in January, I took my boyfriend to go see Last Days of Disco.
Ooh.
And like I love Whit Stillman, and he hadn't seen much Whit Stillman, so it was really great to
open
let him
that up.
experience that. And I love Last Days of Disco. Like that's a jam for me.
I don't even know. I'm so fucking bad at movies. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Which one is that? I'm mixing it up with the last. What's the
Starfighter?
Yeah, no. What's the one with Cloris Leachman when she's young and it's in Texas or something?
That's the Last Picture Show.
That's what you're talking about, though.
That's Bogdanovich, which is like good shit. Like
I love that
Bogdanovich
movie.
is an asshole, but like his
really?
films, like
isn't he that? Yeah, he's the one that all the stories are about.
He's the but like
people like
But like What's Up, Doc, and Last Days of Disco, like that's classic cinema, man. Like it's fucking awesome.
I wish I would have had the opportunity to ever take a film class, you know?
Oh yeah.
I never film class is so
or any of that type of stuff.
I would love to just I know that I have like a master's in this shit now, but I would love to just go take another class just because it would be fucking fun.
Yeah. You know? I had a class in college. I went to this shitty school for a little bit. I was only there for a semester, and one of I was a history major, and one of my classes was film in World War II or something like it was like titled like that. And so we watched a bunch of movies from the 40s that were dealing with World War II in different versions of it.
Yeah.
And like one of us called like Our Greatest Year or something, and it's the one a guy gets his hands blown off and has to come home. But it's one of those movies that's like so fucking heavy, but still shot almost like The Music Man or something. Like it's still shot like a sugary Hollywood picture. And you're like, and
got
like
all those weird old Hollywood accents too.
Yeah, totally. And like he's like drinking himself to death, but then they're like, "But you saved everybody. Think of all the men you saved." And it's like, Jesus.
Have you ever seen like the video where they cut and break from that voice?
Oh no!
Like that's a put on.
Like when they're on set and then they're like cut, and everybody's like, "Ah, fuck, this thing sucks."
Yeah. Like it's a stagehand, like a staged put on from like, you know, actually doing it in theaters and stuff.
Oh, dang.
To like enunciate everything. And then
it would make sense from the old days, like in play acting days and stuff like that. You need to enunciate so well. So you need to have that like Katharine Hepburn diction or whatever, you know? So the back of the theater you'd be like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
I would never be able to make it. I'd roll over all.
Yeah, I was one.
Did you ever, so you studied film. What was your did you study it for writing, acting, directing, all of it?
For writing. I did my undergrad in communications with a film concentration, but even then I was still, because it was a small school, my undergrad, so I ended up doing all the writing for people's films and shit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, in grad school I studied dramatic writing, and at NYU they teach you how to write plays, screenplays, television scripts, and I already knew how. I just kind of wanted more,
technical.
Experience.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's great. I want you to just give me like a syllabus of like what I should watch and read, but I don't want to give you any money or get like FASVA involved or anything.
No, yeah, I could do that.
I can give you one too.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, yours is going to be Predator 2.
Predator 2 is underrated.
It's a good movie. It's fine. Okay, so what else were you into when you were a kid? Did you? You seem pretty heady when it comes to like film. Were you like that the same with like television and like music?
I was like that with television. I watched a lot of television growing up. Was into Gilmore Girls. I was into Boy Meets World. I watched every episode of Beverly Hills 90210, the original one. Yeah.
Really? Did you fuck with that much?
I mean, it was pretty inescapable its first couple seasons, and then it was always there.
I feel like I was too young for it. It was like for my sister's age. But then I felt like I had that with Dawson's Creek, where like I saw every episode of Dawson's Creek, even though I couldn't tell you whatever happened on it.
Man, that show is wild.
Yeah.
I don't think
I watched a lot of Dawson's Creek.
I watched like every fucking episode, and I don't remember. I remember ins and outs and stuff like that. But
they built the WB on the Dawson.
I've seen every episode of Buffy.
Yeah, on the VB.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's another show that I've never seen. I want to go back. I know, right?
You need to immediately watch Buffy the Vampire. What are you waiting
for?
I missed it too.
It's so fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
We should do that.
Well, I was a little bit too old.
Is that a podcast already?
It was an average movie.
You should watch it. Yeah, I mean the movie was fine. It has its charm, but yeah, the show is fantastic. I watched the spin-off
death scene.
Watched the spin-off Angel scene every episode of that.
Yeah.
I was also an Angel head.
My mom watched Angel, but I don't think she watched Buffy. And I thought that was so weird. Because this was
Angel's a different show.
But this was, but it's like, you'd think that they'd be connected. But I think it was because like TBS or something at that time had Angel and Charmed on.
Oh, TNT.
And so my mom, or TNT.
Yeah,
so my mom
would just every episode of Charmed.
Charmed is good, right? Am I wrong? Is it good for what it is?
It's good for what it is, I would say, because I've been watching the new Charmed recently and I hate it.
Oh, sure. But that was a curious thing, because like I see, we have TV now. I think Charmed is just on the reruns a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, I bet they're doing as good. Why,
Yeah, the reruns are on and it was good. I watched all of it. I watched a lot of shows like that, like supernatural stuff with vampires. I watched a lot of teen dramas. I watched every episode of the original runs of Degrassi, like from the 80s
with Spike
up until about like whenever Emma and Spinner and that whole set. Like I was like a little bit for like the Degrassi that's on Netflix right now. I don't watch that. Like I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
But I watched it till like until 2010 or something like that. Yeah, for a long time.
Have you watched that Degrassi?
Just when Jay and Silent Bob did it.
When they were on that.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Worlds colliding.
Yeah.
I watched it. We watched it in school. Did you watch it in school or at home?
No, I didn't watch it in school.
We had a class called like skills or some shit, and we would just watch Degrassi. But this was in probably like '99. We're watching
in a wheelchair.
No, we're watching the '80s ones.
Drake gets shot, right?
Drake does get shot late in the new ones.
He does get shot. There's a very long. It's one of my weird like.
It's like one of the only things I know.
I know the entire plot that leads up to him being shot. Like it's so.
Is it heavy?
It's so convoluted. Like it's just like it's this whole thing where it's like. A girl is like one of the popular kids, but she's like chubby, so it's like hard for her to get a boyfriend, and then she almost gets a boyfriend, and then her friend gets jealous and takes the boyfriend. So this girl, she's like popular, but she can't find a man, so she finds a man, and he's like a dork. He's like a theater dork. And so like all the popular kids fucking hate this guy, and then like he feels inadequate, and he's a teenager, and he's volatile, so he starts like hitting her, and so it's just like a whole thing where like, he hits her, she ends up in like a coma, and she ends up off the show, and then he like goes to therapy and shit, and then he tries to come back to school, And everybody's just like, nah, fuck this guy. Everybody's just being like a piece of shit to this guy. And this guy's like, oh, I really, and so basically he gets bullied a lot. He gets bullied on like public television. They do like an academic bowl and they pull like a carry on him and like get some like feathers and like yellow paint on him. And he gets angry. So he comes to school with the gun, and the kids who did it, didn't want to get in trouble. So they decided to blame Drake's character, Jimmy Brooks, and Jimmy Brooks had nothing to fucking do with it. But this kid, he's unhinged. He's mad, he's upset.
Yeah.
So
history of domestic violence.
So he decides to shoot Jimmy, even though Jimmy didn't really do anything. So Jimmy ends up in a wheelchair, mostly just because he got implicated in some shit that he had nothing to do with.
What a show for being like the thing that you hear teen girls talk about all the time, like, that's intense. I remember on the original series when Spike got pregnant and they were going to have an abortion, and I just remember that episode playing and our teacher being like, okay, we're done, and just like, nope, we're not going to learn about abortion today.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, it was still like that too, because there's an abortion episode of Degrassi The Next Generation, the current series, and it only played in Canada, but it didn't play here. So I had to get like a Canadian rip so that I could watch it because the Americans were just like not chill with it.
It's got that TV 14 in the corner, but it's got the fucking flag. It's got the maple leaf. I've watched some Canadian TV.
But no, Drake really got a raw deal on that show. He really did, because he was just like a nice dude. Like he never really did anything wrong. He was constantly with like white women that were cheating on him and shit. Like it was just like a whole thing. And then he ends up in a wheelchair, and then he starts rapping on. He actually started rapping on Degrassi, and I was just like, this isn't gonna go anywhere. And then he goes off Degrassi and becomes a rapper, and it's been the weirdest. It was the weirdest thing, because I remember him rapping on the show and just being like, what the fuck is happening?
Isn't that? I feel like that. I think about that a lot. Like if you had to script our last like 15 years of pop culture, that a dude from Degrassi and a dude from like the Derek comedy became two of the biggest rappers. Donald Glover and Drake both went from like these silly roots and comedy roots to being like just renowned rappers. Like that's so insane to me.
It's very weird, especially because Drake is a bad rapper.
I don't know shit about know shit about Drake, but I know that he's on the charts, and my Spotify tells me
he is on the charts and he is not good, and I will never understand. Like I don't know how he did it. I really don't, but he is not a good rapper.
I think
you
really just get that PR.
He's a good meme.
He is a good meme. Like he's like he's very strategic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like when he was getting in trouble for hiding a child, the way that he did that. Then he did a music video that was a Degrassi reunion.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, this motherfucker, he really.
That's what you got to do when you're all the way up there, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's not enough that you're smart with your music. You also like the branding and everything nowadays with how much stuff there is out there and how many different avenues everybody has to get to that music. Like there's only a little bit of space at the top, and these stars today, man.
Yeah.
They really, it was interesting because I grew up on hip hop, but like I grew up like my mom was into it. Like, so I was into like good rappers.
Yeah.
So it actually took a really long time for me to get into music that was not hip hop, because I was just like, oh, this is
which ones were you into growing up?
Which what?
Rapper. Or like what music were you listening to around the house?
I mean, like I was listening to Tupac, I was listening to Biggie, I was listening to Pastor Troy, a lot of like Southern rappers, Outkast, and I listened to Mike Jones and 36 Mafia, and I never liked Nas. Never liked Nas.
When you never liked Nas?
Never liked Nas.
I didn't listen to a ton of rap, but a lot of my friends got into it, and then I have been doing this like weird resurgence, especially with Spotify now, because it used to be you had to like buy an album, and I'm like, I can't trust because I like one song.
I have genre weeks on Spotify where you just
totally and so at work I'll do that now, and so I've talked about this in the show a little bit, but like in the last like couple months I got real into Wu-Tang, and it's hard to be like a guy in his 30s to be like, who's good? Wu-Tang, and everybody's like, we fucking knew 30 years ago, you idiot,
I listened to like a kind of like a project similar to that called Gravediggers, which is like just like horrorcore.
Oh, hell
yeah. I was into that. I used to be really into Eminem. Thank God I grew up.
I just saw a picture of that dude. What's happening with him? He's like,
he looks like he's getting ready to like take the shotgun.
Yeah, that guy.
Like he's
and his daughter's just like an influencer and stuff, and you're like, golly,
that's wild.
This isn't what anybody planned.
No, it's not. I used to be really into Jay-Z, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah, was that a choice? Were you like, I'm done with Jay-Z?
I'm just tired of his shit, man. Like, he's too rich.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
Right. I feel like I feel like I don't know shit about shit especially when it comes to rap. But I feel like at least when I listen to, like, what was his last album, 444 or whatever?
Yeah.
When I listen to that, I don't feel like I'm listening to just an out of touch person.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you hear an interview with like a comedian or an actor or an actress that gets super rich, you hear it and everything.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And with Jay-Z, I don't
Jay-Z
feel that.
hasn't gone Jim Carrey yet.
But I feel like the not feeling that is a choice where it's like, I'm going to make sure that I don't come off this way, which I think in turn is a rich problem, you know?
Yeah,
I'm all right with a completely disconnected Kanye.
Yeah?
I mean, Kanye really fell, and I was really into him. He really fell off. I used to be into Lupe Fiasco, and now I don't claim him anymore.
Yeah.
He's a mess.
I met, when fucking, do you remember when, Jermaine Fowler was in Iowa that time, and we hung out for that week when the hurricane happened? He literally that whole week was like, we gotta get Lupe. Lupe's the future. That's what I got really into him that summer and everything. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, he's coming from New York. It must mean the truth. Lupe Fiasco is going to be the future. And then all of a sudden, like, nobody fucking cares anymore, you know?
Cause he's a mess. Like, it's very hard to like stay consistent and not lose your mind. Like, like Missy Elliott, consistent, has not lost her mind. Like, that's really hard to do. Like Foxy Brown, fantastic. Lil' Kim has kind of lost her mind, but she's still a good rapper.
Sounds
like,
yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of, like, I wasn't even into anything that wasn't rap music until, like,
Lady Antebellum, of course.
Nah, like, I'm trying
Boy from a northern town.
I got into the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck? How did that happen? Who tricked you? They were like, you like good music.
My brother was really into them, and he would like play them all the fucking time. So then I got into the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
They got those hooks, man.
They do.
I
listened to them.
Like post 2000s Red Hot Chili Peppers, like they might have lost the teeth, but they got the hooks.
They got the hooks.
It's really weird.
Californication and all that stuff.
Californication's a good one. It's so weird how they're one of the, like, I don't believe in like
Stadium Arcadium.
No, thank you. That's
the album.
Yeah, but that's a pass for me. That's where I'm out by that time.
Well, I've never been in.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like,
but like
they dominated the radio.
I don't like the idea of like guilty pleasures and shit like that. I'm like, I think you should be able to like what you like and be confident in it.
Oh yeah.
But if like, let's say I'm at work and my jack got pulled out and I was listening to like Californication, that's the most embarrassed I would be. As if everybody in my office found out I was just rocking out to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It was so interesting because my brother would play it so much that like my mom, who does not, my mom doesn't date white men. She doesn't listen to white music. Like, it's just not a thing that she does. The only white person music that she likes is Shania Twain, and I couldn't explain that to you if I tried.
I could explain it to you if you got a couple minutes. I know.
But like, I just remember like there'd be times where she just would find herself like doing like Red Hot Chili Peppers lyrics like against her will because my brother was playing it so much.
Oh, I love it.
It was so funny.
I love it. My dad would do that with stuff. Like my dad would like pick up stuff that I was listening to, but I'd catch my dad humming a song, but like not correctly. So like he'd be like, we'd be working in the barn or something, and he'd be all like, "And I'm in my own prison," and it's like he's singing a Creed song like it's a Willie Nelson song.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah,
I
right.
love that.
That's my plan.
Should have been there on a Sunday.
Yeah,
morning,
totally. That's my plan.
banging my head.
For this year, I want to do really bad. Maybe I said this last week on the show. I want to do a Garth Brooks punk version of Garth Brooks called Barf Crooks. And I want to do one concert, and I want to record it, and I want to put it on Bandcamp. You know what I mean? All those songs, the opposite of that. You know what I mean? Like, Friends in Low Places, but it's like, I got friends in low places. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I could have just said that to my dream journal instead of you guys on a podcast.
No, it's fine.
It
you
was
told it
great.
to your Ream journal.
You know who I was really into?
Tell
and
me.
So much so that I still have a t-shirt from them.
Can I guess?
Try.
Trisha Yearwood. What? I said as a guess. It's
Country t-shirts are funny anyways.
It's like I was super into Coheed and Cambria.
Oh yeah.
I was fucking like
They keep cranking out the good albums too.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm
gonna be honest. I have never, like on the show, a lot of times we like to guess what year the guests graduated high school. I have never been more confused on what year you graduated high school. Because I thought you were, I figure you're probably about a certain age, but I'm like, you could say you graduated 96 to 2015 right now based on the things that you like. I have not, and I love it. We'll keep it going.
That's great. Yeah, man. Like it was so weird. I was in high school and I also got really into the Pixies, which it became like a whole fucking thing where like I wanted to be Kim Gordon, so my mom bought me a bass guitar.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
What kind of bass guitar?
Just like an electric bass, like a very like basic kind,
like the Fender Squires probably.
Yeah, probably some shit like that.
That was
and
you.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna be Kim Deal. I don't know if I said Kim Gordon before.
They were both in there for a minute.
I mean, I love both of them. I actually met Kim Gordon like a couple years ago, and she's still like really hot. Like she's old. She's like really hot. I was really into it.
It's weird. Like there's that whole like Riot Girl era of musicians and stuff like that. Catherine Hahn, right?
Also hot.
Not Catherine Hahn. That's the actress. You know what I'm talking about.
But I know. Yeah. Catherine Hanna.
Yeah. She's still like gorgeous, but she's like 50, and you're just like, or like
Carrie Brownstein.
Totally. Yeah. And also because I have such a connection, that's the thing that is so funny now is like the however style always comes back in like cycles right now.
Yeah.
And right now the style of like early 20s women is to dress the way that my sister's friends dressed in the 90s.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, oh yeah, that's what hot girls look like, you know, chokers and acid wash jeans and shit, 100%, you know.
100%. I agree.
It's like, so like that's why I like all those Riot girls. So like I like women in their 50s and women that are 22, and then of course my wife, who's my best friend in the world.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
It's it's great.
Oh, I would be remiss not to mention Hole, which man.
They're great.
Whole fucking I love them.
I don't know if I'm right in this because the whole album I love is the one with Malibu.
You can listen to the whole album?
Yeah, totally. All the soup to nuts.
Celebrity
Skin. That's the one I like, but I don't think that's the good one. I think Live Through This or whatever.
Live Through This is the one that I love, but I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's like the Peter Gabriel versus Phil Collins thing.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah. You just
Celebrity Skin is your Phil Collins.
Okay.
Sold all the records.
Oh
yeah, I see
I'm
that.
just thinking of all the albums that my brother made me listen to until I loved them, like Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Oh, that's hard because it's a double album.
I did not did not like it at first. He played it so much until I fucking loved it.
Well, Smashing Pumpkins are one of those bands that they have 4 great songs, and then they have like 30 songs that sound a little bit like those 4 great songs, and so you're like tricked into listening to 12 songs, and you're like, what the fuck? I just wanted to hear Tonight, you know? And
oh man,
that happens a lot. What was your in with Coheed?
Coheed,
did you like that screamo shit?
Yeah, but like I liked them more because they had like a mythology to their
totally.
songs.
Yeah,
shit, so they weren't just like yelling about like some girl who didn't call them back.
Yes.
Like,
they got like, all those concept and prog.
I fucking loved that
song.
I loved the video. I loved the intricate videos and the storytelling.
And the dumb voice.
That song, Favor House Atlantic, is still like. Oh yeah. I haven't made a mixtape in 15 years, but if I made one tonight, that would be on it. You know, that's a good song. I used to make
so many mixtapes. I would give them to boys that I liked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a good move too, I still think.
Yeah.
You know, that was my when my wife and I first started dating, I made her it was like a birthday gift type thing, and it was basically a bunch of mixed CDs, but it was an alphabet. So like it was like a song that started with A, a song that started with B, a song that started with C. And to this day, it pops up on our iTunes all the time. Like when we're on shuffle or something like that, it'll be, instead of the track being called like I don't have a good example, but like Helicopter by Block Party, it'll be H, Alphabet of Love, Helicopter, Block Party, you know?
Block
and
Party.
So, yeah, it's such a, like a fun thing anytime that pops up. I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, this thing's staying with us. This mixtape I made you know?
I loved Block Party.
Block Party was good.
Oh, man, I also love the Arctic Monkeys so much.
I missed it. I never got it.
I was into the Arctic Monkeys.
They fucking keep coming back. People keep trying to make them big in my brain, and I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Who's the other? There's another. There's another band around that same time that God damn it. My brain's not on yet. Coffee ain't hit yet, but,
that's all right.
Those fucking bands. I did, Coheed was interesting too because they were good. And then all of a sudden their bass player like robbed a CVS with a gun before a show. Do you know about this?
No.
It's a sad story in actuality. Their bass player was like addicted to some medicine or drug, not medicine. And so like they pulled into like fucking, I don't know, like Burlington, Vermont. And they're like, we got a show tonight at the Wells Fargo Arena. And he's like, okay, hold on a second. And then he went and fucking robbed like a CVS and then came back and then they were like, hey, the bass player from your band robbed our store. And then he had to leave the group and go get into rehab and shit.
They're one of those interesting bands too, because they have like a very wide crossover of like associated acts or who they've toured with.
Yeah.
I mean, they've toured with like, go from like Slipknot to like The Used.
Totally.
And, I know their drummer wound up going into, or their second Dillinger Escape Plan.
Oh, yeah?
And stuff like that.
I saw them with the Juliana Theory. You ever fuck with Christian rock?
No.
Thank Christ. Yeah, that's a thing.
No, and it's weird because I come from a Christian town. Like, everyone in my town's
Oh, Christian rock. You mean Gibraltar?
Sure, yeah. You know the Blarney Stone? In Ireland?
Don't know it.
I've never kissed it, but I've kissed a lot of different stones because I'm trying to start magic, because that, Christian rock, I saw Coheed and Cambria open for Juliana Theory, who was this Christian band, but it was on the tour where they stopped being a Christian band, but they didn't tell anybody. So it was just a rock show. I've told this on the podcast a bunch, but it was just like all these like youth groups and then the band's talking about how they want to fuck and which girls they like.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
But Coheed is opening in front of a packed room of people who don't hate them for religious reasons, and they're just crushing, and it's so good.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. While you were talking, I just remembered another band that I was super into.
God damn, I love it.
Say Anything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was really into Say Anything.
They have one song that At Your Funeral. That song is, I think, one of the greatest songs of all time. Recently, I made a playlist that was for that if I happen to pass on, songs I think would be rad to be played in my play, and that was the first song. And then I was like, how hard is this going to bring the house down when they start playing At Your Funeral, At My Funeral?
Oh,
right?
Yeah. You got any other big hits on your
my funeral list?
Playlist?
There's a song by Brian Fallon called, I don't remember, it's the one that talks about Stacy. And it's Will You Visit My Bones? It's a really good. Do you ever think about got a song you want to have played at your funeral? Well, of course, you were a staff sergeant in the military, so I'm sure they're going to play Taps or something like that, right? Reveille gets played,
I don't know. I'd probably want maybe some, I made a joke recently on Twitter that I wanted a Fall Out Boy song played at my funeral, which, no, I don't actually.
Which one?
The Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
She's My Winona. That was the one that I picked. So I was like, yeah, I wanted it to be that one.
That was good.
No, I don't know. Like, a Say Anything song that I'd maybe, played at my funeral is Belt. I would love that. That would just be, be such a mess.
I think, what is yours? What's on your list, Ream?
Oh, Stan Bush.
Stan Bush,
The Touch.
all that stuff, yeah.
And Monty Python.
Sure. There's a great...
Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
Oh, God, that'd make me cry. I hope I don't have to go to your funeral. By which means I hope we have a falling out beforehand. I also like Fields of Athenry. It's this Irish folk song. And there's this one version of it done for this film called Veronica Guerin that came out. You're a film head. You know about this movie?
Film head.
That sounds like something. It sounds like something that Kate Blanchett was in.
Yeah, I believe so. She played an Irish. She was running for prime minister, and she got assassinated.
Yeah.
And there's this in this movie when she gets shot. There's this it's one of those moments where the music drops out. And then it's just probably a 9-year-old boy doing an a cappella version of this beautiful song called Fields of Athenry. Mm-hmm. And all the sound drops out except for this kid belting out this Irish folk song. I like that track. Yeah. Well, anyway, what about cartoons? You like cartoons?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I got real in my head thinking about funerals.
Here we go. This is where we can
cartoons.
Zero in.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Love Rocko's Modern Life.
Fuck yeah.
Love SpongeBob.
They're dragging out that
reboot?
The new Rocko.
I'm getting really tired of their shit.
I think it's been a good year since I saw a preview for it.
Yeah, it has. I don't know why they're doing that.
Sure.
Is it Hulu doing it or Nickelodeon?
Probably both.
Probably both.
I think it's Nickelodeon with somebody.
Because I know Animaniacs announced that it's not happening until next year.
Oh, yeah.
2020.
Hey Arnold, Tiny Toons, Rugrats. I was really into. Actually, I remember when I started grad school and we were like talking about narrative. I was like, actually, the first couple seasons of Rugrats are some of the best storytelling ever done.
Oh yeah,
to ever do it.
On season 1.
The first couple seasons.
Yeah.
Like season
Oh,
1 and season 2. Yeah, fantastic. Just like
I
it's
love
like
the
they're
football
like short
episode,
stories.
obviously.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
but I just thought that was genius. God, I haven't watched Rugrats.
Got to, dude. It's on Hulu.
Forever.
I watch it to calm down. Like when I'm stressed out, my boyfriend will be like, "Okay, let's watch some more."
The same thing that you do to a small child when they need to calm down.
Well, because I'm a mess.
Yeah, that theme song is just soothing.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's a thing with certain of that era of cartoon, and the one for me is what's it called? Magic School Bus, where I can put on a Magic School Bus that maybe I've seen 500 times. And I just don't recall anything. So it's like kind of feels like I'm watching it for the first time.
Sounds like they really suck at teaching you stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm dumb as rocks. You know that about me.
You don't retain anything from Magic School Bus. They failed.
But every once in a while, I'm like, oh, yeah, irrigation. That's right, you know? But and Rugrats is like that, too.
Maybe they should have had a show called The Science School Bus.
Oh. There was Science Court. Did you ever watch that?
Oh, man, yeah, I watched Science Court.
Science Court was good.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know if it was Lauren
Great
Bouchard.
theme song, too.
What?
Science Court?
What was it?
Da-na-na-na.
Da-na-na. Yeah.
That was good, man. Oh, yeah, Pepper Ann, too.
Pepper Ann, yeah.
I was into Pepper Ann.
I missed, wait, so Recess, was that a thing for you?
Recess was a thing.
Because my wife loves Recess, and I missed it. 100%.
I was too old for Recess, and I knew it was good and watched it.
How old are y'all?
See, I was, okay, what year, okay, take a guess what year we got a graduation. He's really good at this, unless he's not.
05.
I'm going to say 07.
Oh, I graduated in 2010.
2010, ooh.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this is all because of your reference point. As soon as you brought up the fucking Pixies, I was like, you're probably...
And like, well, I guess they had most of those really good Nickelodeon shows and
rerun and stuff
then,
like that,
and being played all the time, but you were really hitting the sweet spot with the Rocco. So
yeah, totally.
I thought it was
So 2010. Okay, so I graduated 03. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. He graduated in 1994.
Yeah.
No, he graduated what year? 2000?
2000, baby.
Yeah, baby.
It was
just like that Silverchair song.
Like, okay, I remember when Clerks 2 came out. And I told, this was 2006, so I was in high school. I told my mom that I really wanted to watch it. So me, her, my brother, my little sister who was like still a baby, and like her boyfriend, we all went to go see Clerks 2 together. Like, as
and did you have to like fill them in? You're like, okay, tell them, Steve.
It was their idea to see it, so I was like, I knew what I was in for.
Yeah,
they didn't know what they were in for.
They're like, what the fuck is Jourdain up to?
A lot of universal themes.
Yeah,
in Clerks 2.
Yes, about that time in life too, and just like what you've done with it and where it's going, and you're just stuck in this place, you know.
Yeah, so it was like weird. Like my taste has always been very like 90s, maybe like to a fault.
Yeah. By the way, you've been a fantastic guest for this podcast. I'll tell you that. Every once in a while, we have people on, and they're like, I don't know, I didn't really like shit, and you're like,
No, man, I watch so much stuff because I retain so much stuff like. And a lot of it just like influences my own work. I could write very passionately about the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Cartoons.
Fantastic.
Were I think they were the torch carriers after the Nickelodeon boom.
That heyday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Powerpuff Girls. I didn't watch the relaunch either, but
the relaunch is bad. Don't worry.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's so interesting the way they do that because, like, that first Teen Titans
Cartoons
is great.
Cartoons are 50-50.
Teen Titans Go is not good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
like
Summer.
Teen Titans Go. It's really interesting.
Do people like our age like it? Do grown-ups like it? Or
I've seen some it's weird. I think it's like young people and like moms.
Oh, okay.
The movie did really well.
Yeah,
did it really? Because I feel like it seems like I get why like a kid would like it totally. It's Teen Titans Go. I don't know if you know this. They have a contract with every hotel in America that if you turn on a TV, it's going to be on. You know,
that is wild.
Because I've watched it everywhere around this country. But I get the charm of it 100%. But like, it doesn't seem like you're like, okay, whatever. And then I watched Teen Titans though, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking rad. I love this.
Yeah, the original Teen Titans. Yeah, that's my shit.
And Turtles does that too. Whereas like we talked about this on the show, but like.
I think it's awesome how many times Turtles have been able to survive a relaunch.
And some of them are great, some of them are okay. The current one I don't like, but I don't give a shit anymore because I know the next one I'll have a shot at, you know?
I'm just saying, if you look at a lot of the other stuff, I mean, like, He-Man got one shot, you know?
That's a bummer, too, when stuff like just doesn't hit at the right time or the nostalgia isn't correct for it, you know? That's always weird.
Speaking of that, the new She-Ra is good as hell.
Yeah.
I like it a lot,
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, and the new, I just mentioned Magic School Bus. I like that, too.
I just remembered something. Anime, which, like, I don't know, we don't have time to, like, get too much into it, but I was into Dragon Ball Z. I fucking loved Dragon Ball Z. Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Tenchi Muyo. God, I watched like every episode.
They didn't give us any of that.
It was a mess.
What do you mean?
At least on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up, I know Patrick didn't watch much.
No, I don't know shit about. I still don't know shit about anime.
Yeah, anime is like my it's my shit. Like I love Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is fucking fantastic.
Ooh.
GTO, which y'all might like, which is about like a teacher who's like a former like he used to be in like a motorcycle gang and like, but it's like in Japan where they really frown on that. So he's like teaching and like nobody really has respect for him because he has blonde hair and he used to be in a gang. Like,
bad boy.
Like, yeah, no, that's real good shit. Yeah.
So I used to watch that first lineup of everything on Cartoon Net or the Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Where it was like Yu Yu Hakusho or whatever, and Inuyasha, and of course Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, Cowboy Bebop, good.
And that's coming back too.
Oh yeah,
everything
it's
comes back.
Have you seen Samurai Champloo? It's like rap and like samurai shit together.
Oh, that sounds great. Have you guys heard? You guys heard about Wu-Tang Clan? Because that's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Goddamn. I wish like what I'm learning now, and what this show has definitely done it is. I've started finding that I had my like safety stuff, like Star Wars, Turtles, things I loved, but I was like, whatever. And then because of this podcast, I'm getting into way more, I'm branching out way more. And now I feel like I'm at the point where I'm like, I can't give like, I know I love Buffy and everything like that, but I can't give it my time right now. Because I feel like I'm going to push I can't have too much happening.
Anime?
It's like self-care to not get into Dragon Ball.
You should dip your toe into?
What's that?
Because one of the problems I find with a lot of animes is too many episodes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like the short ones. I like the concise ones.
They had to like recut Dragon Ball and like bring it back like
that. Well, that's
what
when I did Patak's podcast.
You should watch
forever.
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man?
It's amazing.
What do you think of One Punch Man?
You know what? One Punch Man is one of those that like totally went past me, but I've been meaning to watch it recently. But yeah, I think like anime that like it's like 26 episodes or less than that. That's
yeah.
That's a full story.
That's gonna be Die Hard for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch it and burn through it in a day. And be like,
okay, awesome. Yeah, I gotta do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's Jack Comstock, friend of the show. He fucking went crazy for that, and he's a big anime guy anyway. But like. It was one of those things where he like referenced it in conversation the way that you would reference like, did you see the new Star Wars?
Empire, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what One Punch Man is. And he's like, what are you fucking talking about? You know?
Yeah.
It's wild.
You gotta check some like that or like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's another like pretty short one to check.
Can I ask you, how do you find, cause you're always writing and you're always working and like doing things like that. How do you still find time to like get into all this shit, or do you just have this like encyclopedic knowledge from years past?
I do have the encyclopedia. Yeah, it's really annoying. Because I just feel like such a dork most of the time.
It just sucks when it's it just sucks when it's things that nobody fucking like when I'm like I can go deep about my Ninja Turtle toys I had and nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know, John Belancini's new website is the only place that I can give this stuff to, you know?
I like in terms of time to get into new things. Yeah, oftentimes I don't have the patience because like I gotta go. Like I was at South by Southwest, so I had to go to Austin. I had to watch a bunch of movies there. I was at the Toronto International Film Festival. I watched like 30 movies there.
On top of that, you gotta watch a lot of romantic comedies.
For sure, for the podcast.
I watch a romantic comedy a week, and also we do a monthly podcast for patrons only, where we talk about erotic thrillers.
Whoa,
so
hell yeah!
Okay,
no.
Does it? Okay, this reminds me of, remember when we tried to do the fucking choose your own adventure? Do you guys, on the show, do you guys watch these movies together?
We only watch the erotic thrillers together.
Does it ever get like a little steamy?
Yeah.
Because we tried to do on this show once. Remember the Choose Your Own Adventure? That was like the horny we didn't and it was just like just a little like I don't know. I don't think I can have that tension with my co-hosts on a podcast, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, like Bronwyn and I love each other, but yeah, like I don't know, like we watch the erotic thrillers together, which is weird. We don't watch a lot of the romances together, but sometimes we do, and that's always strange. But yeah, it's weird. And I also like to drag my boyfriend into it because he's like a much snobbier person. So I like to
rub his nose in it. Has there been any of those that you really loved? Like one of the romantic comedies that you were, or romantic, ones that you were just like, oh fuck, I actually changed my mind on this one.
The Beautician and the Beast.
Oh yeah,
is that Fran Drescher?
Yeah,
baby.
And that guy.
Yeah, like Timothy Dalton. Yeah, and a lot of people say that's a bad movie. I disagree.
Yeah,
well, a lot of people say pretty much all romantic comedies are bad movies.
Yeah.
But I mean comedies anyways across the board are like not
panned. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not well received. I mean, yeah, and romantic comedies are fucking fun and dumb.
Yeah, and sometimes
they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Fran Drescher, dude. I went on a deep dive today with her, just Googling. Because so I watched this YouTube video today, iTube, and it was every TV show that launched in 1993, right?
Yeah.
And it was like the opening credits.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And so there was...
I've seen that's in my feed.
Yeah, because you use the same fucking Nostalgia Front feed probably. Oh. But it was... so all these shows started at the same time. Frasier launched. The Nanny launched. Boy Meets World launched. All these shows. And then a bunch of fucking things you'd never heard of. But I got it. So I saw the Nanny, and I was like, "Wow, I didn't realize the Nanny had been out for so long." And then I just watched like a super cut of a bunch of like gags from the Nanny, and she's like a comic genius. Like
she is fucking funny.
It made me want to watch. She had that other show recently that was on like TV Land or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. I know which one.
It was like name. A more recent sitcom with her, and I was like, maybe I should watch that shit because I think I'm just a huge Fran Drescher fan.
She is hilarious. Like the kind of comedic work that she does is like Lucille Ball level.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's fantastic.
Yeah, and she's great in Spinal Tap. Remember, like when she first comes out.
She is.
Yeah, goddamn.
Smell the glove.
And it's just like the thing about the Beautician and the Beast is that it's such a ridiculous plot. Like this is a woman who needs a job, and she ends up teaching the children of a dictator, and she goes to this country and she doesn't really realize it's a dictatorship, but she'll just say shit that like a dictator wouldn't like. Like she'll like go to a factory and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, these conditions are bad. You should unionize." And like she'll just say shit like that. Like she spends like 10 minutes in a factory and they're already ready to unionize. This is a socialist hero.
Hell yeah.
That she just comes and just changes the whole shit. Like she tells the daughter, "Oh yeah, sex is fine. Sex is cool." Like it's just,
sex positive socialism in a rom-com.
Rolls up in
love it.
You know that like it's not sustainable that she's gonna be with this dictator. Like it's just not. But just the fact that she just like is just like incredulous. Like, excuse me, like you're not paying these people. Like what's going on?
Oh God.
I'm trying to think of
more Drescher movies.
No, this is just a vague rom-com that made me think of that. What's the one with the time traveling Gerard?
The time traveler's wife?
No. It's got Christina Applegate and then the guy from The Professionals, A Time Traveling Knight.
Leon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is that?
I don't know. I'm just derailing the podcast.
Good. No, that's fine. Well, I'll edit around it because I'm gonna find this because I know what you're talking about. Christina Applegate. God, what a star. What's she up to? Is she raising kids or something? Why is she not in every fucking show still?
Yeah, she should be around.
Have you guys done The Sweetest Thing?
No, we have not. But I really, because when I was at South by Southwest, I watched a documentary called A Romantic Comedy that essentially does what our podcast.
And then you're like, God damn it!
I was really fucking annoyed. But it's like
the back of the room the whole time. You're like, shut, fucking turn it off.
But our podcast is better. But,
sure, yeah, for sure.
There's a part in the film where they just do like a whole musical number from The Sweetest Thing, and it just reminded me this shit is fantastic.
Yeah.
They do a song about like a dicks where like it's talking about like flattering men. It's like, you're too big to fit in here. Too big. Oh man, it's so good.
And she was, or The Sweetest Thing also was one of those movies where Like, when I started college, my freshman year of college, like 2004,
every
girl on campus had that on DVD, and that was the touchstone at that point. Similar to how, like, I feel like everybody had Anchorman on DVD or something like that.
Totally.
Everybody knew Sweetest Thing top to bottom, you know? And now it's like 13 going on 30 was one of those movies too. That, like, it felt like everybody had it as a touchstone, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
30 is fantastic.
But it's not talked about the way I thought it would age, you know?
Oh, yeah.
God damn. Okay, so fantastic.
I like that.
Damn.
Never Been Kissed.
Never Been Kissed is good. I just saw somebody tweeted the other day. Never been kissed. Prove me wrong. I thought I was gonna fuck a teacher. I don't know. It's just some fun tweet, but you're like, that'd have been bad if it was written by a dude, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You were talking a little bit about your favorite, that restaurant, the barbecue place and shit like that. What was it called?
Knuckle Sandwich.
Knuckle Sandwich. Doesn't it sound like Knuckle Sandwich and your brother's hot dog joint should like team up?
The Flying Elbow?
The Flying Elbow and Knuckle Sandwich should like open up like a Taco Bell Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Post last week, they got they're
they
targeting the relaunch.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Back from the tornado.
His brother runs a fantastic hot dog spot in Iowa, but a tornado knocked the fucker down.
Wow.
Yeah. It's up and down, you know? And we'll talk more about it on the show when he buys a sponsorship, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What about like snack food? Like, were you a big snack food kid, or did you guys have a lot of snacks in the house? Were you not the house with snacks?
Yeah, like we talked our mom into getting a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
Like I had Reese's Puffs all the time.
Oh, that's the cereal,
oh,
right?
Yeah. My head went chips for a second.
Ooh,
really into pizza rolls. Had a lot of Totino's.
Yeah, baby.
Pizza
I love a
rolls.
pizza roll. What's your flavor?
I actually really like the pepperoni. The pepperoni is tight.
I've been a combination guy
classic.
or Supreme.
Oh yeah,
I would never do. I'd never do Supreme.
How do you cook them? Do you just
Great question.
I put them in the oven. Like you gotta get it real crispy.
What do you got? What do you all the time in the world?
I'm a patient
takes
person.
7 minutes.
I'm a patient person.
It doesn't take long.
And the flavor is infinitely.
You are not wrong
100%.
there. You are not wrong there. The flavor is much better, but fuck it. I can put these things in the microwave for 1 minute, right? Most of them are going to be cooked, okay? And then some of them are going to be, you're going to bite it and it's going to be like an icicle, but then it's cheese icicle. That rules, you know? When I was on tour one year with somebody, maybe with Albert and Nick or something, but I just put like, it was like 150 degrees out. So I just put them in the back window, and after like 40 minutes, they were like cooked pretty good. So I just had,
God, that's
wild. I'm sure I got
Okay.
salmonella or something, you know, but they tasted great, you know?
Probably, yeah.
back home in Iowa, where no place is open after the bar.
Yeah.
Pizza rolls.
So
many times.
Yeah.
And the correct answer is toaster oven.
Toaster oven. Fuck, I never fucked with a toaster oven.
I never had a toaster
Me neither.
oven.
We had an oven. We had a toaster. We just bought a new toaster.
I think toaster oven's more of a difference. It's a bridge between the oven and the microwave.
Yeah. I know they are.
So
we
it's
just
great.
never had one.
It's great for all your frozen snacks.
We didn't have the counter space. And I would have loved to have had one. We did have for a little bit a pizza oven that was pretty rad. I bought it at an auction.
Yeah.
Like we went to like a farm sale and there was a pizza oven and I was like, hell yeah, dude.
That's
I was like
fantastic.
13 and it was like a tray you would pull out and you'd put like a frozen pizza on it and you'd put the tray back in and it would cook for like whatever, but it was like it was like a mess.
Toll McGrain, a comedian back home in Iowa.
Friend of the show, fan of the show, real NFer.
A buddy of ours, he cooks almost everything on a pizzazz.
Oh yeah, that's right. You seen those fucking things?
Like a whole assortment of things.
It's like made for the count.
It's a countertop rotary pizza thing where it's only got like heat on one segment of the pizza,
and it spins.
So the pizza spins around.
But it'll cook like spaghetti and shit on.
But yeah.
Oh my god.
Chicken fingers, what have you?
Love it.
Do you have anything like that? Any specialty that you're gonna cook?
No, not a specialty.
I love
but
that.
Now I'm thinking about like we have a microwave, and I wonder if we could just like stick a toaster oven on top of that microwave.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Might be good.
We just got this new toaster, and my god, we've had the toaster my wife and I got when we first started dating.
Remember
11
how cool
years old.
the like big toasters were when you were a kid?
That's what this is.
They're like they can do fucking 4 things of toast
God
at once.
damn it, Brandon Ream, that's what we just got. We got a toaster.
Oh, he's talking about counter space just a minute ago, and now he's got 4 toasters.
I'm talking about now I have counter space because I'm a grown up. But back on the farm, we didn't have the room for your toaster oven. But like, it's got 4 spots for it. So you can, Stacy and I, when we make breakfast on Saturday mornings, we can cook our toast at the same time. Instead of being like, all right, well, I'll just fucking wait 4 minutes for my toast. But your toast will be cold by the time mine pops up, you know? Now it's all sleek and nice and quick and It's
great.
It's like a level of like being an adult that I never thought I'd get to.
That's the thing about breakfast, though. It's kind of like the assembly line meals.
Yeah.
You know, you can never cook breakfast and then sit down all together at once.
Yeah.
Except I make a breakfast smoothie, so that's how I do
Wait,
that.
what is that? You just throw everything into a blender?
Well, I need to start my day with a lot of protein, so I get some soy milk, I get some Greek yogurt, I get some peanut butter, there's some fruit in there, some juice, some lemon juice. Like I like to put blackberries. Blackberries
are
really
great.
Gets your smoothie going. But yeah, I drink my morning smoothie so that I can get like a bunch of protein at the top of the day.
I should do more working in the city because there's a freaking juice
place everywhere. I see the people on the train with juices and it makes me so like envious and also like ashamed. Like that's what I should be doing, you know? Cause I've never been a breakfast person. And if I am, it's like I like making a quick microwave an egg, throw a fake sausage on there, like a meatless sausage, some cheese, you eat it on like a hamburger bun, and it's delicious. To me, it's exactly what I want out of a meal. And then I'm full until fucking 2 p.m., you know? Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's not healthy. I need some blackberries in my morning, you know? Yeah. God damn. Well, in fact, Jourdain, you've been a fantastic guest on the podcast. The listeners, they love you. Why don't you tell them where they can find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at JOURDAYEN. You can find me on Instagram, same thing. You can find me there. I'm on Patreon. You just search my name, and if you want to become a patron, you know, that'll be great.
Oh, they get it.
Yeah, but I'm all over the place. If you search me, you can find articles that I've written, and you can find the Bad Romance podcast, which we do.
Which is very good.
Yeah.
I'm not bullshitting. Sometimes we plug our friends' stuff on the show, and we're like, I don't fucking wouldn't listen to that, you know? But your guys' show is pretty good. So definitely go subscribe to that. And also you have a website, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Where they can see like when you do like stand-up shows and stuff like that popping up.
Yeah, and also just if you have, I don't know when this is coming out, but on the 16th I'm going to be at Alamo Draft House, and I'm going to be hosting a screening of the Slumber Party Massacre.
No shit.
And anybody can get, because I love the Slumber Party Massacre, and I had to do this. Like it's gonna. Yeah.
A horror fan too.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's do a quick horror minute. What's your favorite?
My favorite
Slumber Party Massacre.
My favorite horror movie is some of my favorite. Black Christmas is one of my.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's new, right? Isn't
it?
Like
no. I'm talking about
that's
the
like
original.
One of the first slasher.
Oh, okay.
One of the original Black Christmas. Yeah, that's tight. I also love I love Prom Night 2. I think that Prom Night 2 is really
well, it really built on what they did in Prom Night 1.
They really got it. But yeah, I love the Slumber Party Massacre. The Slumber Party Massacre movies are like the few horror series that are all directed by women.
Yeah, right.
And like they're kind of like satirical, kind of making fun of men, because it's like the men are always trying to like kill them with like a phallic symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah. I've only seen the one with the rock and roll.
The rockabilly one. That's Slumber Party Massacre.
He's got
too.
the drill, the dick drill.
Yes,
yeah,
that's fucking fantastic. But yeah, like
scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, but
I'm scared already. I can't do horror movies. This is all you guys, right?
But I never knew that or made that connection, and that's really funny.
Yeah. I love horror movies. So if you want to come, I'm gonna probably be coming back from like month to month I'm
sometime
asking them
they come
to
back
program
again.
a bunch of horror movies for me.
And that is smart. I love that shit when it's like you get somebody who has a good eye and they know what they know.
Mm-hmm.
They pick a movie, people come out to see it, and then you can like have that. I wish. That's all it was.
I want to do that so bad.
Yeah. Also, but I would be remiss not to point out that Ginger Snaps is one of the best werewolf movies ever made.
Thank you.
You gotta watch it.
Finally.
You
Somebody's
gotta watch
bringing
it.
it up. Ginger Snaps, is that the one? Wait.
It's
no.
Canadian.
What am I thinking of? What's the one with Alyssa Milano and Drew Barrymore, maybe? Remember
Poison Ivy?
Poison Ivy, that's what I'm thinking of. That's different
There's
than Ginger Snaps.
vampires at all.
Ginger's, no, but it's a horror movie, and I get their names mixed up.
Snaps.
No, it's a
It's a
suspenseful
great
thriller.
werewolf movie.
What are you talking about? Poison Ivy's not a horror movie?
No.
When I worked at Blockbuster Video in 2007, Ginger Snaps and Poison Ivy were on the same like row.
Wow. I mean,
take it up with Blockbuster,
Poison
dog.
Ivy is. We actually have done that on our erotic thriller podcast, the one that we do for Patreon only. Our erotic thriller podcast called In the Smut.
Yeah. Have you guys done Wild Things?
No, we're only like 3 episodes in, so we did this weird one called Zondali with like Judge Reinhold and Nicolas Cage.
No fucking way. I'm not gonna watch Judge Reinhold get horny. That's not part of my life.
We watched that
Have
one.
you not seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Judge Reinhold horny is one of the funniest scenes of all time.
Yeah, but I don't need to see. Nope, I'm out. I'm sorry.
We did that. We did Poison Ivy, and now the next one that we're doing for this month is a weird one called Crimes of Passion, where there's like a wild like preacher guy who has like a sharp dildo that he calls Superman.
Whoa!
So Crimes of Passion.
That was my nickname in high school.
It's
Superman?
a wild
sharp
one.
dildo. I'd walk down the hall. They'd be like, "Hey, sharp dildo." I'd be like, "What's up?"
That sharp dildo was. Wow.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Okay, so
I'm like a sharper image dildo.
yeah. It also it plays like a Bluetooth. Okay, so for listeners, that event that's the 16th, right? So that's
the 16th, and it'll be like around 9, I think, or 9:30. So if you want to come to the Alamo Draft House in Brooklyn, I'll be there, and I can have drinks with you. And
fuck yeah.
You know, yeah.
And so if you're in New York, that's tomorrow night from when this drops.
Yeah.
Goddamn, thank you so much for being on the show. Perfect, yes. Ream, where can the listeners find you on the internet?
Finally, a good time to go there too.
You haven't been to the Draft House yet?
I don't
good.
go during the winter.
Why?
You don't shut the door.
Because the draft.
They
I
got
gotcha.
that draft.
Boom! I didn't know. They have that kitchenette thing downstairs or whatever it is. You know, not kitchenette. That's not the right word. It's all the food.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's good. I like that.
The knockoff draft house in Des Moines is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like any draft. Any place that takes the movie seriously, I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they're like, hey, could we please pretend we're not just like a bunch of horny kids in this room trying to be in the dark alone for 20 minutes, you know? Speaking of horny kids, where can the listeners find you on the internet?
Reamcore.
REAMKORE.
Also check out House of Bricks comedy and 1994 podcast. I think that's about it.
I like that you're plugging 1994 again. We giving that another boost, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Do it again.
Letting people know where my content is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Listeners, you can find me at Patrick Hasty. That's at PATRICKHSTAE, PatrickHasty.com for all upcoming shows. I want to say thank you to everybody who came out, this weekend in Minneapolis. That was so fucking rad. I saw a couple NFers. It's always good to see. Also, me and you, looks like we're both going to be in that weird, what's that Secaucus? I don't know. We're going to be in upstate New York in a couple weeks. So look for that on our, websites. Sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I'm assuming yours as well. Thank you for putting up with us for 100 guest episodes.
Yeah.
99 fun size episodes. It's insane. We are just on a cloud 9 over here. We love you all. We love the emails. Please keep emailing us and, tweeting at us and all that kind of shit. It means the world to us. Also, if you want to get on the Patreon, throw some cash. That always makes us feel better, It's always fun. Tell your friends, be cool, never die, and as always, remember, if you're not an NFer,
you're an MFer.
So get the fuck out of here. Why don't you let me do this?
Sorry.
That's fine, Brandon. Okay, here, hold on. I'll start all over.
From the top, Patrick.
Okay, so you can catch all three of us on July 19th at the stand-up showdown put on by Dan Umpton.
Vote for me.
Well, you can vote for all three of us because you got 4 votes. So basically, vote for all three of us. Come on down.
Welcome to BrainMachineNetwork.com.